Hi, welcome to TCC's hybrid statistics class. My name is Brock Leach and I'm going to be your instructor. I wanted to take just a few minutes to give you an introduction into how the WAMAP system works. And after you watch this, I highly encourage you to poke around yourself and kind of get familiar with it. But just to point out some quick things, I want to go over and put it actually into the student mode so you have a better look of how it looks for you. You see we've got all these different blocks here that represent different sections that you can go into. And over here we have our messages, calendar, which is already on the main page. The forums, this is where you can go and look at the discussion forums, things that people have posted, questions, etc. And then your gradebook, you can look at how you're doing at any given moment within the class. The first thing I want you to do as you're getting familiar is to go into the getting started. You'll notice down here on the calendar we have a bunch of different days where we have different things coming due. When you click on the day, beneath the calendar you'll see the links to all of the different assignments that are coming due that day. Now, it's going to start out looking like there's just way too much going on, but hold on to your hats a little bit. It is something you want to hop on and start working on right away, but some of this is a lot easier than other parts of it. So don't get overwhelmed just looking at it is my only point there. When you click on Getting Started, you're going to see a list of all the things that you should do first. First of all, we have the video tour, which you're currently watching. And then you have the course syllabus. This is something that you should print out and read through. We have the introduction. This is going to be your first actual assignment. Underneath here, you can see when the threads are due and when the replies are due. Both the threads and the replies are due by midnight on Wednesday. Week 1 introduction. You're just going to give an introduction of yourself to your fellow classmates. And anyway, all the directions are kind of listed right there. I want to point out there's a bonus point for posting a picture to go with your bio. Of course, we always like to be able to see who it is that we're hearing about, so definitely if you can do that, you get a little bonus point there. And then there's a symbols assignment. This is due on Wednesday as well, and a calculator image and upload assignment. You need to have purchased your T8384 calculator by Wednesday night, took a picture of it and posted it up here in the calculator and upload assignment. There's some information about rounding and some of the things that, just some information. And then you have the week 0 tutorial. This is also going to be due Wednesday night. You can see the late pass is allowed with this. As soon as you sign into the system, you're automatically given 10 late passes. So this will actually be a little link here. It's not showing that way on mine because I'm the instructor. But this will be a blue link. If ever you want to add 24 hours to your due dates, go ahead and click on that, and that will add 24 hours to your due dates. This is a very simple assignment. And one thing you're going to notice about all the homework assignments in WAMAP is that you have many chances to get full points. For example, if I'm going in here and I'm doing this multiple choice question and I choose the wrong selection, I hit submit. Let's see up here I have 0 on this attempt, and the score in my grade book right now is 0 out of 5. If I try it a second time, I get it right on the second time. You can see that on this attempt I got a perfect score, but because it was the second attempt, I only got 3.8 out of the 5 points, and so that's what's going into the gradebook. But I can always try a similar question, and as long as I get it right on the first try, I'm going to get full points, and in fact that's what's going to go into my gradebook and replace that 3.8. Every time you miss a question on the first try, it's going to subtract 25% of your score, and that's there just to encourage you to keep on doing it until you get it completely right. This is true of most questions throughout this section. Your goal should be to get 100% on every homework assignment. Okay. So that's all the stuff under getting started, but you should do that right away. Get these done as soon as possible so you can start getting into the stuff that's going to be coming due on Saturday. Now you can see all these different symbols, and the RA there stands for reading assignment. In here you notice we didn't really have a book because our book is actually embedded into the WAMAP system. So if you click on this link, it takes you into the book section in WAMAP. And over here, you can think of this as the big sort of table of content. It's got everything broken down by units. Starting here with the Z table. But the first thing you're going to want to go to is the Introduction and Learning Strategies, which is Module 0. And when you click on this, it takes you to that specific area, that specific module. Under each of these units, they're broken down by modules. So as soon as you click on any one of these, actually, let's see. Module 1 here. You can go there and it's going to give you all the stuff from section 1.1, which all lines up with what's in your syllabus, etc. We clicked on module 0 here, so we're going to go through this. One thing you're going to like about this book is it's very, it's not a ton, it's very readable, and in fact throughout it, you've got some feedback strategies. Now these are actually worth points. Worth about 1 point per question. And on these particular questions, if you get it wrong the first time, I'm just going to randomly check some no, yes, no, yes. I'm going to submit it. Oh gosh, I actually just randomly selected all the right answers. So at any rate, I don't know how I did that. I wasn't really reading. But you can see under here it gives you some feedback. If I had selected the wrong answer, I'll go back and do this again. It's going to give you a little feedback as to why that was the wrong answer. So these are really just for practicing. You can see as long as I do it, I still get the full 5 out of 5. And that's for the reading assignment stuff. So these are what take up a lot of the boxes that you'll see on the calendar, is those reading assignments. 3/4 of these are our RAs, and those are those just tiny little assignments. Then we have the real homework stuff. Once you've done the reading assignments, you've gone through, and you can break this up. You can see that this first homework here is covering, let's see if I can get to it, Module 1, Part 1, just the graphs and distributions. So I'm going to go to do this one after I've read through everything from 1.4 to 1.5, or 1.1 all the way up to 1.4. Then you can see that this homework module goes with 1.5, so I'd want to read this first, do the reading assignment, then go ahead and do that. And most of these are broken up throughout the book. They're broken up by section. 1.6 and 1.7 are one homework thing, and then 1.8 and 1.8. So make sure don't try to do all the reading assignments at once. You'll get overwhelmed with information. Just do the ones that go with the homework. Do the reading assignments first that go with that particular homework. And then once you're done with all of that, then go ahead and do the quiz. The quiz is going to be the quiz is actually a timed 60-minute thing. Don't click on it till you're absolutely ready to do it. You can see that once I click on it, it's opened it up, and I have 60 minutes to complete this. You can reattempt a lot of those for deduction and points, but they are more limited in the quiz setting. Okay. The discussion board is also located here. And so you can see that we have a couple of discussion board topics that are going to be due here pretty soon. And those also show up on here. This discussion board is actually due, I believe, on Saturday. It's not showing up. I'll have to go in and see why that's not showing up. But this is going to be due on Saturday night. Also, above that is the Collaborate sessions. On Wednesday evenings from 6 to 7, and I'm going to change that to Wednesday, we are going to meet virtually, meaning we are going to meet in an online classroom for an hour. This is time for us to go through some lectures and time for us to go over questions together and just get some stuff taken care of. I highly recommend you go and click on this sometime soon just to see if you can get in there. There's sometimes some pop-up blockers and things like that you got to work through before you can get into it. If you cannot make it on Wednesdays from 6 to 7, you're going to click on the recorded Collaborate session sometime after that and watch it. You're going to find all of them when you go into here. You see it's going to take a minute or two for my thing to work. But when you go into the recorded sessions, just go from the bottom of the list. The bottom of the list will be the latest sessions. I'm not actually going to go into that right now. We'll talk more about that on when we meet. Otherwise, they're broken down by units, and I have them you'll notice within the modules here, they're kind of in a top to bottom approach. Here's the YouTube videos, all these videos. I would suggest that you kind of watch those on some of the ones that the reading isn't enough for you. I've got some really great tips on those. PowerPoint presentations that go along with those. There's a couple handouts, a calculator video, kind of introduce you to your calculator. And then all of the homeworks, save for the reading assignments, are here as well. So you can access them from the calendar, but you can also, you've got a lot of other tools up here within the block itself. And these are broken down by units. So that's just a quick tour of the website. I encourage you to start poking around and start getting some of these things knocked out. The biggest thing that you can do for yourself as we start out here is to pick a few hours every day to work through the material. If you try to do it all on Friday or you try to do it all on Saturday, you're not going to make it. You're never going to get through all that stuff in one day. And even if you get through it, you won't have learned it because you've been rushing through it. Take a little bit every day, and on the let's see, where are the discussion boards? When you have questions, this is where you're going to post your questions. Just click on Add a New Thread, and you can post questions, and you can answer classmates' questions. It's a great place for you guys to meet, and of course I'll be monitoring that as well. And I generally will chime in if I feel like I've given enough time for students to respond. So I prefer you guys respond to each other rather than me responding to you. Look forward to seeing you all this week. We've got a lot of work to do, so I encourage you to jump in right away and get started. And I will see you all this Saturday morning.